Hey everyone, welcome back. Episode 4 here. Today we're going to get into a little bit of bees. Last time we picked up some princesses and queens from the village we found. So I went ahead and made a scoop to get ready. We do need some drones. And we've got a couple of apiaries here, so we kind of get a jump start with some frames as well. So I guess we'll just head out, see where we can find some hives, and pick up some more bees. And then we'll get right down to it. I figure we've kind of traveled a little bit here, but we may as well go in a direction we haven't been yet. So I'm just going to go head straight north here. Maybe we'll find some other cool things on our voyage. And hopefully we get plenty of bees. And maybe a zombie or two that we'll avoid. So, let's see what we can find. Cool looking biome here. Some cherry trees. I think we'll bring a few of these guys home. Alright, looks like our inventory's pretty much full up now, so we could head back home if I didn't just spot what looks to be another village. I didn't see it on the mini-map. Let me see. Oh, this looks to be a pretty good sized village. A couple of farms, a bunch of good stuff. Well, let me rummage through the village. If I find anything good, we'll have a look at it and bring it back home, won't we? A hive right in the middle of the village. Kind of made me laugh a little bit. Guess we'll take that. Haven't found anything else really worthwhile just yet. But, haven't been through all the houses yet, so I'll keep looking. So this is happening right now. I guess the guards fight off the zombies. Alright. Oh, nice work, buddy. Nice work. Didn't really find anything in that village, but just outside it, and there's 2 hives here. I'm just going to gather these up quickly, and then we are going to make our way back home. Alright, looks like those stacked right in. And let's see if we got room for these guys. Guess so. Alright, well, time to run away from that skeleton and head back home. So here's everything that we've got for the bees. I don't really know much about them, so I'm going to do a bit of research. But what I do know is it all starts with getting a beealyzer. And so we've got to make one of those, which requires us to make a carpenter. So if we take a look at the carpenter here, where is it? It's just a bunch of bronze and some glass. So let me get some bronze cooking and get this thing made, and then we'll get our beealyzer together. We'll see what all of these are, and then we can get started finally. Alright, just about got our carpenter put together here. And then we can take it on over. Now, our ender lily growing very, very slow on the dirt. So that's kind of an issue. It's been a couple of days now, and that's all we've got built of our blast furnace. So that project is sort of put on hold, which is fine. We're going to get to it eventually, but for now we're doing bees, and happy to be doing so, aren't we? Let's hook this guy into some power and look up what we needed for this beealyzer. Looks like a bunch of tin, glass panes, redstone, diamond. So we can do that. Glass panes. one diamond and some redstone. I don't remember the exact recipe. And there was a bucket of water in there too. So there's the water. Let's see. Tin. I got lead instead of tin, so that won't work. I think it was 4 tin. So 4 tin there, diamond on the bottom. Was it 2 glass panes and redstone? Let's tell me if that likes that. Looks like it. Now can that be regular? Okay, yeah, it can be a regular diamond. So let's get all those in there and see what the problem is. No recipe. No recipe. What did we mess up? Does this need to be stained like colored glass? Those are all tin. Those are tin. Glass panes, redstone, diamond. 2 buckets of water. Not a problem. 2 buckets of water. And doesn't say no recipe anymore, so maybe it's working. It shows it's getting power. Oh, there we go. It is working. So let's get this together. Just a little bit longer on that, and then I guess we can put the bees in there and it'll tell us a little bit more about them, and then we can find out which ones are the best to be bred with each other. And then we can get rolling on that. So let me see. Just grab a couple of bees here and see how this thing works. So supply bees and provide honey. Or honeydew. Well, what do you know? We don't have honey or honeydew. So I thought I knew enough to look at the bees, and then once I knew what the bees were, I'd do some research, but I think it's probably time to do a little bit more research for right now. So I'll come back when I know what I'm doing. Alright, so done a bit of bees research. Basically what needs to happen is for us to get started, we take some that we've got a pair, like meadows, we've got princesses here and drones. So we'll take one of those and well, I guess we'll use the queen already because she's ready to go, and then the forest and a forest princess. So we'll get these breeding, and then that'll produce us some byproducts and some stuff to get started with, and from there we can start making some of the machines that are required to advance. But really you just have to get a good stockpile of bees for the whole process to really work out for you. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll get these guys going here. Let's just throw in the queen and the drones and over here. So now, because we were lucky enough to find apiaries, we can automatically pull out of these guys. So you can make a transfer node, and then you got to bend it around the right way, and then the byproducts can go into a chest. So let me get those together and lay it down, and then I guess we'll be ready to just wait. Okay, so we've got the transfer nodes here, some pipes and some chests. So I guess what you can do is you just loop it around here. The bees will automatically go into the apiary, so you've just got to make it go by there first, because it'll try to put everything into the apiary first. It'll only accept the bees, and then all the other stuff will get pushed right into the chest. So we can just do it like that there. And so I guess what's going to happen is these could have different stats. They're going to breed together, and we're going to end up getting bees that stack. Some will stack, some won't. And then if you just keep doing it, and eventually you should produce only bees that stack together, and that's how you know you've got purebreds of both of them. Until you can beelize, that's the only way you can tell. But in the meantime, they're going to produce some byproducts for us that's going to get us to be able to get the honey and get the honeydew. But we do need a couple of machines for that, and we may have the enough stuff from hunting to be able to find it. See, we need a carpenter to get honey. Is that right? No. To get the honeydew, we need a centrifuge. That's the one. And we've got these combs already, so we should. Now I'm not sure we've got one that gives us the honeydew, but a centrifuge is definitely what's going to be required. So I guess let's see what's entailed there. So that's not so bad either. That's going to be just bronze and copper, which I think we've got enough of. So let's get this guy put together. Okay, so we've got the centrifuge made. See, this is why I love the immersive engineering wiring. It's I set it up to look like real wire. This kind of crosses the door because I ran out. But in any case, we've got some of these honeycombs here. We should be able to throw them in and hopefully get something that you can use in the beealyzer to see what we've got. So beeswax and honey drop. I think honey drop is what we're waiting for. And well, let's just pull these guys out right now because I'm anxious to see if this works. So let's take a look at this queen here. And so I don't fully know what this means, but it's forest, and I think that means that's a good thing. Some of the other things here I don't really know just yet, but all that this really produces is honeycombs, which will be good. We can get a bunch of honeycombs, so we can get a bunch of drops and analyze all the other bees that we've got. And these drones over here stack, which means that they should all be the same. So let's see what they are. So those are forest as well. So they should all stack together. Did we leave him in there? Okay. So how does this work then? So this one doesn't stack with that one. And now that that one's been analyzed, it won't either. Is that how it goes? So then this must be different because it wouldn't stack to begin with. So what is the difference? I don't know exactly what I'm looking for here. Shorter, slowest, slower. Maybe it's one of those that's different. Shortest. Okay, so those are shortest, slowest, slower. No. What is the difference between these bees and why won't they stack? Tolerant flyer is a stat on this guy. I don't know what tolerant flyer means, but it seems like it's probably better, right? So let's use him. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing just yet, but I know that we need a bunch of honeycombs so we can get a bunch of honey drops, and then check out all of these bees and then do more with them. So I guess it's kind of a waiting game as these guys go, and that'll give us a chance to research more of what we're doing and figure it all out from there. I'm gonna get like a little spreadsheet or graph going because I know it can get really complex, and I want to make sure that we know what we're doing and get the right bees breeding with each other for us to actually make progress in this. So that's the next step for me. Maybe get a little Excel sheet going. I know it's a little overkill, but you know, better to be organized and know what you're doing than to be totally lost. That's what I think anyway. Okay, it has been some time and I have got some things figured out. So before we were looking at bees, they're in this chest here, they wouldn't stack, and I didn't exactly know why. But what I've discovered is it was that flyer trait that we were looking at. We had some that were inactive flyers, some were active flyers. Now we've got purebred flyers, both active and inactive. We've got that on the drones, and we've got that on the queen. Now, the one that's in here would stack in, but he's analyzed, so he won't. But these are all just purebreds now, and that's a good thing. Flyers mean that they will continue to work when it's raining, which is always a nice little bonus. Over here, these have always all stacked from the beginning, so we analyzed just one of these, and this is what every bee that we have is. Unfortunately, these aren't flyers, and they don't have any flyer genes, so I couldn't get that out of them. So these guys don't work while it's raining out, which does have a huge effect over time. So it's a lot better. I mean, there's only 4 honeycombs in here versus 3, so it's not like we're seeing a huge difference. But I have been taking the honeycombs and centrifuging them to get them going. But I did go on another bee run, and I collected even more bees and some other of the combs here. So I do want to get a few more apiaries up and get some more of these guys going. Because what I would like to do is get a full stack of these drones that are purebreds before we start hybriding them together. And we've almost got a full stack of each of these guys already. So let's try to get some full stacks of the others, and then we'll see what hybriding is all about. I don't know if that's a word, hybriding, but that's what we're going to call it. So first we need some more apiaries, which we were lucky enough to find the ones that we're using, but to actually build them, what you need is pretty simple: some slabs, some planks, but we need this impregnated casing, which is made in a carpenter with just logs, not a big deal, but we need seed oil. So in order to make the seed oil, we need a squeezer. And the squeezer, not too difficult: bunch of tin, some glass, and sturdy casing, which is just bronze. So that is easy enough to make. So what I've done, I've got some bronze in the smeltery here. We'll make up the 4 gears. We'll make up the ingots, and I'll get this together. We'll get it all hooked up, and we'll start squeezing out some of the seeds. Now thankfully our farm over here is going quite well. As you saw in the chest over there, I saved a bunch of the seeds. These guys are advancing pretty good. I mean, we're getting up there with some of the stats. So we got 4s, we got 7s, we got 6s. So we're getting there with these, and I'm just saving up all the bad seeds. We're going to squeeze them out. Now I don't know what seeds you can squeeze and which ones you can't, or maybe you can squeeze them all. So we will see how that goes. And also, of course, we're always keeping an eye on our ender lilies. We've made a little bit of progress on the blast furnace here, but it is slow and steady. But this is important. Once we've got this guy up, we can really start advancing. We can start making a bunch more machines, get more power, and really things will move a lot quicker. So this thing has always been, every time that I walk by there and that plant has grown, I'm making some more of this. So I'm going to put another layer on here. We got 4 more blocks, which means we only have 2 more ender pearls to go, which means maybe 1 more day and we'll be full there. So I'm hoping next episode we can put this together finally and get going with that. But today, bees and apiaries are on the schedule, so let me get our things together here and see what seeds we can squeeze out. So we've got our squeezer all made here, and we've got a transfer node for liquids going into our carpenter. We've squeezed out some seeds. So as it turns out, these Pam's Harvestcraft ones do work. So basically all of the things that we have been growing and improving stats on are going to end up being good seed oil for us. So that's always handy. But we've also got the pumpkins here, because pumpkins, as I'm sure you know, will craft into 4 seeds each, which means we can get a good deal of pumpkins from the pumpkin crop over there. So we can just stack all of these right into here. This thing will just go and go and go, keep pumping it into here. So as our seed oil builds up, we just have to put in our recipe over here, which is just a circle of logs, and that makes us an impregnated casing, which is just enclosed with some planks and some slabs. Actually, let's pull out a few so we have enough to make it. And that's going to make us our apiary. So I guess what I do want to do is get us a little crafting bench over here. Let's go with the full one. And so we're going to need some slabs. And how did that go? Just a boat with slabs, and the impregnated casing should just about be done. Oh, we got 2 of them out of that. Alright, and so the seed oil I think is just going to, yep, we've got plenty of seeds in here that are just going to keep getting squeezed up. So we should end up with a few of these guys. We'll pop that in there. I guess we'll have to get some more planks, which shouldn't be too hard. Maybe there's some in there. Nope. But we can get some right over here. So what I have done too over here, I just set up the bee houses. These guys can't be automated, but those are a lot easier to make, so I just made a few of those so that we could start seeing some more results. And it seems to be working pretty well. I guess we got to take that out, don't we? Get that going there. And the last one, I think I dropped in, yeah, so we've got some transfer nodes and we've got that, but we will need a few more chests. I guess we really don't need all that much space for these guys. Just far enough apart that they're not gonna, the transfer nodes aren't gonna grab out of each other. And let's see. Just doing the same thing here, and then we'll pick a couple of bees to use for it. Now these flowers are growing all over the place, of course, because the bees are pollinating and doing whatever they do, grow more flowers. So these are just kind of maybe getting a little out of hand. But that's quite alright. Let me make a couple chests actually. Let's pick our bees. So we don't really know what we've got going in here. We already have plenty of meadows, so maybe some tropicals. Now I don't know what all of these do just yet, but you know, we'll see what happens. What are these? Marshy. We got a lot of marshy, so I know that pristine is good. Ignoble means that eventually the princess will die after so many generations. So those, I don't know if there's a way to get rid of that stat on it, sort of like we got rid of the non-flyers with our other ones, but we're just going to go with a sure bet for now. We'll just make sure these are both, oh, see, that's ignoble. But I think it's our only tropical, isn't it? So let's not go with tropical for now. We'll mess with that, because if there's a way to save them, we don't want them to die before we know what we're doing. So let's wait. Mystical. Do we have mystical? Those are both ignoble. Marshy. Is that what we're doing here? We're doing marshy here. We have valiant, but I don't think we have any valiant drones. And I don't really know. Valiant might be sort of an upgraded one that we got from the villager. So I think maybe we'll just go with double marshy and see if they're all the same. If all the marshy princesses are the same. And we'll learn a little bit more just by doing that. So we'll get those going there. We'll get these going in here, and I'll put some chests on there, and we'll just kind of let these go. Now this is all just temporary, that these are just placed out here and the machines are just placed out into the open. Probably off camera between episodes I'm going to pick an area. I want it close by, but really not too close. And I'm thinking maybe in this little valley here, which is, you know, right near where we are, we'll build some sort of house for the bees to go in. Now they do mostly need sky access, so I don't think we can really build a full house, but we'll build some sort of enclosure for it, and we'll get their machines over there, which kind of has to wait until this is finished being built. Once this is built, then we can get some more reliable power sources. We'll put the bees over there, we'll give it a water wheel, and it'll just power itself. We'll move all the machines over there that are needed for the bee experiment, and it'll be a little self-sustaining thing. And eventually this is all going to come together as a village, and we'll do walkways and everything, but that's just kind of future planning. Right now we're just getting the basics done. But unfortunately I think that's just about all we have time for now. We got fairly deep into bees here. Well, not deep compared to how it goes, but I think we've got a nice start going. And next time we dive into it, I'm going to have a whole bunch of stacks of drones of all the ones that we've got in here. And I don't know, maybe a few episodes down the road, because these take quite a while. I mean, it's really maybe about 24 hours work to get a stack of these guys. So it'll be a little bit of time. We'll get stacks of all of them going, and then we'll start with the hybrids and crossbreeding and see where that leads us. But for now, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you comment on this if there's anything that you do want to see. There are a ton of mods in here, and I'm going to dive into all of them, but if there's something you want to see early on or eventually want to see, let me know, and that's what we'll do. So thanks everyone for watching. Till next time, I'm Bup, and I'm gone.